I was gonna go to the movie theater today, but I was like, I lack the motivation to even go to the movie theater, so I decided not to. So we'll see what happens. But Fast and Furious decided to drop like a teaser trailer today, so I decided I would talk about that instead of Midway or just Mercy. Even though both of those movies would actually be pretty good, and I enjoy those. I probably would have enjoyed those movies. However, I have this has just been building inside of me for a while, and it's like I need to vent almost. Fast and Furious was something that was interesting when it started. It was a movie that just it had street racing. It was just a street racer movie, and everybody enjoyed it for what it was. It was like that was an interesting cop slash thug movie. Plus car racing, we learned a bit of an interesting backstory to one of the main characters, which was Vin Diesel's character, who is Dom Toretto. And then for the next couple of installments, he decided, now I'm done with the franchise, because Vin Diesel was like, I don't do sequels, because how else is it going to be a classic? And since which he has absolutely changed his tone. So here we go. So Fast 9 is the ninth installment of the entire franchise post Hobbs and Shaw, because Hobbs and Shaw is technically an installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, but it's a side game. And henceforth, we now have Fast and Furious 9, and then we're also going to have Fast and Furious 10, and probably so on and so forth until we just die. Until Vin Diesel either dies of old age or dies of crashing his car accidentally. Actually, that's a bad joke. Anyway, so my issue with these movies is that they're unnecessary at this point. Like after Furious 7, I was like, you could just end it here. Paul Walker's character is gone off into retirement. Dom and his crew can just go off into just ride the waves or whatever. But they decided to make an 8th installment. I was like, fine, we'll just see how it goes. And then I walked into the movie and I was like, this is just why. It has to do a lot with the fact that it's basically a fucking superhero movie these days, because The Rock's character in general, he just like in the last movie, he walked up to a shipping container, punched it and dented it. Yeah, I would love to see The Rock do that in real life and actually break his knuckle. Because that's how it would go down. These movies are just, they're insane. I enjoyed them up to 7, but then once they kept going, it was like, you just need to stop. Really, they should have stopped at 5, because 5 was the one that just, it brought it all back, and it was like, all right, we're here, we know what we are, we're a ridiculous movie, and we're just gonna make it look ridiculous. We're gonna make it a ridiculous heist movie. We're gonna make you love all the characters, and we're gonna make you love what we're doing. We're gonna have a pretty average villain, but we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to make you enjoy yourself in the movie theater. Fine. 6 came out and you still enjoy yourself in the movie theater. Fine. And 7 came out, and I thought that 7 was going to be the end of it, because like Paul Walker had passed away, and it's like we should just end it here. We should just end it as Paul Walker's legacy, and then we just move on, because pretty much all the films have had Paul Walker in them, like except for one, and then Vin Diesel was in that one, but still. End it while it's fresh or whatever. And then they went on for 8th, and now they're going on for 9. And also, when they came out with Hobbs and Shaw, like Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, I was like, that is just, why does that need to happen? And I watched the movie and I'm still thinking, why did that need to happen? It was boring. I was bored through that movie. It had nothing. It had none of the intrigue the other movies had, because in the other movies, at least there was something that I was drawn into, because Vin Diesel's character, like, you're attached to Vin Diesel's character and you like Vin Diesel's character, and you just want to see what happens, because at least you're somewhat attached to those characters. I guess I'm attached to Hobbs, but really I'm not attached to Shaw, who killed Han. But here we are. We're just going on with the show, and there's going to be another Hobbs and Shaw, and there's going to be another Fast and Furious, and now there's a fucking Fast and Furious game. Are you kidding me? Oy. When I saw the thumbnail to that, I was like, bullshit. And it was like, it literally was Dom's character, like Dom Toretto, and it was all pixelated and shit, and I was like, is that for the PS2? Like, was that for way back when it first came out? And then I looked at it. It came out a month ago. I was like, what? You're making a game about this? Okay. Now, if that game had have actually looked interesting, like if it could have been like the next GTA. It could have been GTA mixed with Need for Speed. It could have been one of those. Although I guess GTA is Need for Speed, but with crime. Whatever. Anyway, you could have had something like that. You could have made it interesting. You could have even had a franchise of like the games. I would have been all right with that because games, like, they're games. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares about how many games come out. Everybody cares about how many movies come out. And once you milk a franchise it's pretty much the same shit every time. You just change it up. I swear to God, this next movie, Furious 9, is going to be a fucking space movie. And if it's not a space movie, it's going to have like a rocket ship, and they're going to be like driving on the rocket ship going up because that's how physics work. And then like they're going to be plummeting down to the ground, and Dom's just going to land on his fucking knees, and he's just going to be like, "Oh, superhero landing. Really doesn't work. Woo! Yeah, superhero landing." I swear, that's basically what's going to happen. If something like that doesn't happen and Dom like doesn't just drop out of the sky, lands on his knees and just shakes it off like it's nothing, I'm gonna call bullshit. It'll be like, no, you're not sticking to the franchise. But seriously, my real question is, why does this need to go for 10 movies? Because that was apparently like Vin Diesel's plan. It was like, yeah, 10 movies. Have at it. And apparently that was like the deal that Vin Diesel made in order to get this movie made. Well, in order for the producers and all that to bring him back and be like, you know what, Dom, let's bring you back. Come on, let's bring you back. And then Vin Diesel was like, you know what, I will come back, but I want to produce it. And so now he's the producer or whatever. And he's one producer of many, but he mainly produces it, and here we go. So really, I'm just like this really needs to die. Also, the concept trailer, like, I'll talk about the concept trailer briefly because like it's really not it says nothing except for the fact that Dom has apparently like retired or some shit, and he's like teaching his son how to fix a car, and Michelle Rodriguez is like, oh, like, I'll give you this necklace. The necklace that Dom gave me. It's for protection for whatever's coming. Could mean a couple things. One, Cypher, because I guarantee Cypher is probably just going to drop out of the sky. She's probably going to land her plane on top of the building and be like, "You fucked with me, Dom. You're dead to me," or some shit like that. And or it could mean that Paul Walker's character is coming back, because I've heard that rumor. Who's going to be played by Justin Bieber or some shit. And I swear, if Justin Bieber walks into this movie and he's playing Paul Walker's character, I'm going to leave the theater. I'm going to do it because I don't fucking like Justin Bieber. And he would disgrace everything about Paul Walker's character because his character, he was like, I'm done with the fight. I'm done with it. I have my kid. I have my wife. Just going to go on my merry way. And if he comes back, what does that say? That just says like Paul Walker's final act. Well, it wasn't technically his final act because it was his brothers playing it, but still, Paul Walker's final act. I'm going into retirement. I'm going to live the quiet life with my family. I'm done with the fight. What does that say if he just comes out of retirement? And not only out of retirement, but with a different face. That's basically going to say to me that it's just like, well, we don't give a fuck. We don't care. We just wanted to bring him back because we know people love Paul Walker's character. And I was like, that is just... No. Paul Walker's character was good where he was, and he lived and died for the franchise, literally and figuratively. Let him just go into retirement. Let him stay in retirement. You just bring him back. I'm just going to assume you're going to kill him, so don't bring him back. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the whole thing. I don't like the fact that they're going for a 9th installment nor a 10th installment. I don't like the fact that they're having a fucking spin-off series. I also don't like the fact that they've got a fucking video game that looks like it should have come out in 2002. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you like the Fast and Furious franchise? Do you think it's going on for too long, or do you think that it's like, nah, I love my guilty pleasure movies? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.